Son Heung-min, $26.5 million. That is the most any MLS club has ever paid for a player, ever. And on Tuesday night in Charlotte, the man they paid it for scored twice in 3 minutes, walked off with the All-Star MVP trophy, and turned a debate that was already simmering into something that might genuinely need settling. So let's settle it. Son Heung-min, LAFC, July 29, 2026, Bank of America Stadium. The MLS All-Stars are hosting the Liga MX All-Stars. Think of it as the American Conference versus the Mexican Conference. A bragging rights showcase that MLS has been quietly winning more often than people realize. Son comes in wearing the captain's armband and the number 7. And in the 20th minute, he scores. Cutback, classic finish. 3 minutes later, the 23rd minute, he scores again, converting a short cross from Carl's Gill. 2 goals in 3 minutes. MLS leads 2-1. Son gets subbed at the 35th minute, having done exactly what he came to do, and the All-Stars hold on to win 4-3. Son Heung-min lands the MVP award. And the question that's been hanging over LAFC since August 2025 gets a lot louder. Is this already the greatest signing in MLS history? Now here is the thing. That question has a list of answers, and every single one of them has a strong case. Let us run them. David Beckham, 2007 LA Galaxy. If you want to understand why any of this is even possible, the designated player rule, the whole idea that an MLS club can go out and sign a global superstar, it starts with Beckham. He didn't just play here, he forced the league to restructure itself around him. The salary cap in 2007 was $2.01 million total for the whole roster. Beckham was pulling $6.05 million. The league had to invent a new rule, the designated player rule, still called the Beckham Rule to this day, just to make his contract legal. Without that rule, there is no Messi in Miami. There is no Zlatan in Los Angeles. There is no Son at LAFC. Beckham is the foundation everything else is built on. And he signed as a free agent. No transfer fees, $0 out the door. Lionel Messi, 2023, Inter Miami. Free agent, $0 in transfer fees. The club's revenue more than doubled to over $200 million. His jersey became the best-selling in the entire Adidas sports portfolio globally. He scored 40 goals and assisted 26 in 44 games. He won the League's Cup and the Supporters' Shield. The commercial impact was so seismic that Apple TV's MLS Season Pass and Adidas restructured their league-wide deals around it. You cannot make a rational argument that any signing in MLS history touched more things than Messi touched in a shorter period of time for literally no transfer fee. Son cost $26.05 million. Messi cost $0. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, 2018 LA Galaxy, also a free agent. 52 goals in 56 games. Enough said, honestly. Thierry Henry, 2010 New York Red Bulls. Worth a mention here because every serious list of the greatest MLS signings includes him. A genuine Premier League legend, one of Arsenal's all-time greats, arriving with a global reputation intact. He gave the league credibility in a different market and a different era. He didn't transform the commercial landscape the way Beckham did, and he didn't post Vela's numbers, but he belongs in the conversation. Carlos Vela, 2018 LAFC. The argument Forbes made as recently as May 2025 before Son's All-Star Night was that Vela is the best MLS signing ever made on pure footballing value. In 2019 alone, he scored 34 goals in 31 games. That is a goals per game rate that still leads MLS history among players with at least 15 goals in a season, 49 combined goals and assists in a single campaign, an MVP season for the ages. For context, Joseph Martinez's single-season records at Atlanta United made him the benchmark before Vela arrived and rewrote them. And LAFC paid Vela a designated player salary, not a record-breaking European transfer fee. So you've got Beckham building the legal framework, Messi generating the commercial Supernova, Zlatan providing the entertainment, Henry giving the league a different kind of credibility, Vela delivering the single greatest individual season in league history. And then you've got Son, the only one on this list for whom Major League Soccer actually reached into its pocket and wired $26.5 million to a European club the way European clubs wire money to each other. Sit with that for a second. Every legend before Son arrived either for free or at a cost that mostly showed up in salary. Son is the first real transfer fee signing among them, which means Major League Soccer, for the first time, was willing to play the game the way the rest of the world plays it. Major League Soccer Commissioner Don Garber has talked for years about the league reaching a point where it could compete for players on European terms. Son is what that actually looks like in practice. But here's where it gets good, because that $26.5 million number looks different depending on which side of the Atlantic you're reading it from. In Europe, the standard for a great signing is value for fee. The canonical example fans reach for over there is Mohamed Salah to Liverpool for £36 million, now considered one of the greatest bargains in football history. By that framework, you assess Son's $26.5 million the same way. 25 direct goal contributions and 27 Major League Soccer appearances since joining. Joint league best 10 assists this season alone. And that $26.5 million fee, per the research, ranks Son's transfer as the third highest ever paid for a player 33 years or older in the history of the sport, behind only Cristiano Ronaldo to Juventus and Robert Lewandowski to Barcelona. Third in history. For a guy Major League Soccer fans were debating as a risky bet, and the timing of that bet is worth naming explicitly. Son arrived in Los Angeles in the lead-up to the 2026 FIFA World Cup in North America, hosted across the United States, Canada, and Mexico. The eyes of the global football world were already pointing here. Los Angeles Football Club and Major League Soccer didn't just sign a star. They signed a star at the exact moment the planet was going to be watching anyway. In America, we've historically measured greatest signing by cultural footprint. That's why Beckham and Messi dominate the conversation. It's a fair measure. It's just a different measure. Son is doing something interesting. He's threatening to win both arguments at once. The jerseys move faster than anyone's. Per Fanatics, Son became the top-selling athlete across their entire network within 72 hours of his signing announcement, ahead of Messi. At BMO Stadium, LAFC's home ground in Los Angeles, matchday atmosphere shifted noticeably from the moment he arrived. LAFC's revenues grew to $158 million in 2025, a partial year with Son, pushing the club to a $1.04 billion valuation, second best in the league. HiBE, that's BTS's parent company, signed a full cultural partnership with LAFC, with BTS 17, and more performing at playoff games. LAFC looked at what the Dodgers did with Shohei Ohtani and said, same blueprint, different sport. LAFC general manager John Thorrington has described the signing as a statement of where the club sees itself, not just in MLS, but in global football. Now here's the turn, because this story isn't as clean as Tuesday night made it look. Son went 13 Major League Soccer games in 2026 without a single goal. 45 shots, nothing. The discourse was real. The questions were legitimate. It was only 6 days before his all-star brace that he finally scored in El Trafico, the derby against the LA Galaxy, the biggest club rivalry in the Western Conference, and that was the moment the 2026 season clicked into place. So the MVP speech in Charlotte came at the end of a Goalless run, not the peak of a hot streak. The hot streak started the week before. That context matters, because it means the greatest signing debate was loudest right when it was about to become the most premature criticism imaginable. And worth noting, Son is the captain of the South Korea national team. He's not just a player in the twilight of his career coasting through a retirement league. He came here as an active international, still competing at the highest level, still expected to lead his country at the 2026 FIFA World Cup on the very continent where he's now playing club football. Hani Mukhtar, Nashville midfielder and fellow All-Star, said it plainly after the game. He's a world-class player for a reason. He shows it every week. Evander from FC Cincinnati went further at All-Star Week. Him and Thomas Muller would be my first two picks. I don't even have words to describe how much Son is a humble guy and how amazing he is. Son himself, in the MVP moment, kept it straightforward. Scoring 2 goals makes the night really special. It is the fastest multi-goal achievement in MLS All-Star Game history, per MLSsoccer.com. So where does that leave us? Beckham built the door. Messi blew it off its hinges commercially. Henry gave the league a credibility marker in the East. Vela produced the greatest individual season anyone has ever had in this league. Son is the first to be purchased the way the rest of the world purchases players, with real transfer money, European style, timed to arrive at the exact moment the 2026 FIFA World Cup put a global spotlight on North American football. And he is currently making the case that the fee was worth it in real time. The question mark in the title is doing real work. This isn't settled, but after Tuesday night in Charlotte, it's closer than it's ever been. And the next chapter starts Saturday when LAFC traveled to Vancouver for a rematch of last season's Western Conference semifinal. The one Vancouver won on penalties after 120 minutes. 3 straight do-or-die playoff meetings between these two clubs. A Leagues Cup run against Liga MX sides coming after that. Son under contract through 2027 with options beyond. The debate keeps going, so does he.